Mm. Hello, goblins. It's Chris, Eldritch Pipes. It's an episode of this week's Pipes. And I got a bunch to show you. I'm smoking some Haddo's Delight. That is probably, at the moment, my favourite peas blend. In the past, it was Westminster, which, if you've had it, it's a very herbal. It's not a sweet. It's just really a sort of a herbal English blend. Quite dark, I would say. Whereas this is kind of summery, I would say. Anyway, of course, my tastes have changed a little. Westminster was my favourite when I was in a sort of Latakia phase. Now I'm in Vapours, and have been for some time. I suppose it's not a surprise. But Haddo's is my preferred one. I'm smoking a clear cola. I'm drinking a clear cola. There's a syrup maker in the UK called William Fox. There's a wide array of different flavours. The cola's really good. Definitely tastes like cola gummies. This week I've mostly been watching Bodkin on Netflix, which, if you're intrigued to see a series set in Ireland, rural Ireland, really give it a go. It's a kind of quirky mystery. Quirky mystery? Yeah, I shouldn't say more than that. I won't say any more than that. But if that intrigues you, the lead actress really reminded me. It bugged me for a little while. It reminded me of. So I couldn't put my finger on it, and then one day it clicked, and she reminded me of one of the actresses from Twin Peaks back in the day. Now, her name has gone. I can't. It's not Laura, the character Laura, and it wasn't the other one. It doesn't matter. One of the Twin Peaks actresses. When I realised that, I was like, oh wow, she really does look like that actress. If you see it and you know Twin Peaks, you'll know what I mean. Otherwise, you're just going on my brain tangent. Names. I'm terrible with names. Anyway, enough of that. Enough of that nonsense. I got some pipes. I made a couple of pipes this week that were going to be available. And so, I thought while I'm showing you those, I might as well show you all the pipes that I've got available at the moment. And see what happens. Why not, hey? Why not? I'll show you this week's first. If I can correctly. No. Alright. So, after last week's episode? After last week's video episode on the Eldritch show, there are quite a few people were saying, were the Acorns free? And they weren't, and I felt bad. So I promised that I would at least make one or two available this week. I made two. One's already gone, but one is available. The one I'm going to show you now. So, lovely black sandblasted acorn. Some lovely ring grain in evidence. Loads of straight grain. Some quite rugged plateau. I hope you like rugged plateau. Loads of ring grain. Loads of straight. In fact, there's just a lot of detail overall. On a stem on Blue Cumberland. I think my language words is going bad. I don't know why. Speech failing. Anyway. Oh, I was speaking, I got a nice email. Chap called Ricky Winkle, which is a great name. Because I had mentioned in the past the fluid dynamics, I was interested why some colours do this very fine figured. You can see it's very fine detail, and yet on some others it's very broad detail. And I didn't really know the reason why, but Ricky seems to have boned up on his fluid dynamics and has sent me an email about them, which was very kind. I think I know a bit more now. So, an acorn available. It must be because it's getting close to a half term. That's why. Brain's getting ready to switch off, though I can't really afford that. Brain must stay on. Stay on, brain. I haven't made a Viking horn in a little while, and this is a pretty cool one. Black and green contrast. Just look at all the straight grain going off on the shank there. That's really nice. Where possible on a Viking horn, I do try and pick out the straight grain because it's very pretty. So obviously a black and green theme. This has got the moss Cumberland stem. It won't be the first time I say this today. It won't be the last time I say this today. But this moss green is not as vibrant as it appears on camera. I always say it because I always feel I have to say it. It looks really sort of, I don't know, gamma ray green or toxic green. It's not as vibrant as that in real life. But it is a nice green. Just a little plateau on the shank there. Viking horn. So those are the new pipes that are available, but so these next ones are ones that I've had. They were at the ones that have come back with me from the UK Pipe Smoking Championship. because I did have a little stand there. Rude not to. Rusticated Dublin. Such an interesting shape. Instead of doing a straight flare out, I did it so you can just about see the line there where it comes back in. So it's almost like it's got a facet around the rim. Pretty chunky rustication. Plateau on the rim. And single colour moss green stem. Which is not as vibrant as it appears on the screen. This step down taper stem or saddle stem, mix of saddle and taper. And an angled chin, which I think I've been doing it a little bit actually on Dublin stars. I'd like to see a nice angle there rather than a rounded. I don't know why, that's just been speaking to me. So, a rusticated Dublin. Well, I've just realised green is featuring really heavily today. It's all about green. So this is the rusticated. I mean, it is partly rusticated. It's a corrupted fig. I really like the. You can see kind of like where the shape of the bowl was. It sort of comes around and then goes just to a little lip just here. Black and green contrast blast with a bespoke green saddle / taper stem. I've got to come up with a name for one of these things. So I just use one word instead of 3 for them. I don't do the corrupted star very often anymore. This is the first one in quite some time. And yeah. And also the fig shape is quite rare as well. And then, finally, rusticated prints. Not in green. Not today, sir. But quite heavily rusticated. Love the print shape. One of my favourites. guy's about 6.5 inches long. And this guy has got the olive Cumberland stem. Sometimes I do these stems straight, and sometimes I do them with just a slight bend, and I never know which one I'm going to do. I think maybe on slightly smaller princes, a straight stem, it looks good. But on the longer, sort of more elegant ones, just a subtle bend is the way to go. But it's always a judgment call. But there you go. Rusticated prince. All right. That's it. That's all the pipes available. That's a dog. I will try and keep the page updated if as pipes sell, if they sell, so that you know what is currently available from this list, or not. All right, that's it from me. I shall be back next week, all being well, with some more pipes. Surprise! Till then, take it very easy. Your loyal pipe maker.